Whew. All right. It's going to be the warm-up game. Get the mouth moving. Fortunately, it's already a solid match here. PvP. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the blue Protoss, NightMare. Playing for, I believe, Bleed Esports. If I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double-check that. Opponent in the lower right-hand corner. Representing Twisted Minds, but it was like they have a slightly different name or something. I don't know. I guess he's just on Twisted Minds. It is Nice. So I think NightMare is going to be pretty heavily favored here, but considering it is PvP, there's always that chance that I feel like exists somewhat less in some of the other matchups. It's like, well, I don't know, man, it's PvP. If you just miss the scout or you make an assumption that your opponent's doing something and they're not, or you just forget sometimes that you don't play super carefully, Protoss will get you. Especially in this matchup. We've seen two Adepts go in and win a game in a heartbeat. Sometimes there's like a second Oracle that somebody doesn't realize has been made, or they pull the Stalkers from the main and suddenly that comes in and kills 12 probes and the game just kind of ends. There's a lot of ways in the first few minutes of a PvP for a game to just end. I think that's a little bit different than most of the other matchups. At least in like standard opening meta. Like obviously there's cheeses you can do in every matchup to end the game super quickly, but it's not even really cheese in a PvP. It's just like maybe something a little off kilter or a little bit off meta, but again, it could just be two Adepts. It could just be like one tiny little miscontrol that ends the game. I don't really expect that, though. Both these players are quite strong. And NightMare's PvP tends to be really, really good. I believe it's his best matchup. Nice does have a cheeky little pylon up here, but doesn't have a probe up there to put anything down, so looks like it was just a hidden to try to confuse NightMare a little bit. Nice definitely has some PvP aggression he likes to do, and here we see the classic Dark Shrine. NightMare is trying to get a scout off. This Adept is going to finish that shade, but there is a shield battery there blocking it. The NightMare won't actually be able to see what's going on. Back at home, he is taking an expansion. He doesn't have anything to detect just yet. That being said, the Robo is about halfway done, and Dark Shrines take so long to build that Robo will be done in time. I have a feeling the first thing coming out of it is going to be an Observer. We'll have to keep an eye out. If he's worried Nice is going to just attack, he might go for an Immortal. Nice is going to come up here with the Adept. He's going to grab a couple of probes. He's going to spot the Robo. And it is going to be an Immortal first, so NightMare not seeing that Nexus down, not seeing a pylon on the low ground, is expecting to be attacked, but he's not quite sure what by. The Immortal going to be the safe play here, in case some Stalkers show up. But he's going to need to get an Observer out very quickly. We'll see if he queues one up after this Immortal finishes up. Maybe when he sees these two Adepts. Seeing two Adepts at this stage feels like, you know, now you're not being just all in, right? There are a few Stalkers at the front. Oh my god, NightMare catches the Stalkers. Two of them going to go down here with some beautiful force fields from NightMare. 5 probes are falling, and NightMare goes down pretty significantly in the worker count. Nice did expand behind this. And now we've got a DT. Now the DT does get force fielded in. These units are going to be on hold position, so we'll just see Nice go for the recall here as the Observer's about to pop out. However, Nice has secured himself a nice position with this. Obviously, losing a couple of Stalkers is very painful. We see the Army Supply heavily in NightMare's favor. if Nice can hold on for a little while and take advantage of the fact that he's got more workers down here, I mean, he has started mining more, but NightMare did have that advantage for a while, and we're seeing that again reflected in the supply. Nice. He's got to be really careful out here with these stalkers. It looks like he's just going to go straight for charge on that Twilight Council. He can make some Archons with the Dark Shrine. Saved one of those DTs. But we look out on the map as GG gets called because NightMare once again trapped a couple of those stalkers and was just able to take them right on down. So while Nice, I think, ended up off the back of that in a decent spot, I don't know, losing the couple of stalkers during that initial pressure, losing a couple more there, moving out on the map. He just didn't have the army he would need to defend against NightMare's army. I think Nice's only chance there is to, like he was doing, just go for charge and try to get some Charge Lord Archon out and hold on against the counter pressure that was inevitably coming. The thing is, because NightMare didn't have Blink, he wasn't getting super aggressive immediately. He was waiting a little bit, and he was building a Twilight Council. There's a chance he just waits for Blink and tries to macro, maybe takes a quick third. I feel like in that situation, Nice could have just played it out. Again, losing a few more stalkers out there in the middle of the map. NightMare definitely was going to push across with that. Now we head to game number 2, which is going to be on Golden Aura. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner, we have a NightMare. I did not check if he's still on Team Bleed Esports. His opponent in the lower right-hand corner, for Twisted Minds, it is Nice. NightMare SC2. What do we got? Why are we in the results page? Oh, it says he last played for Bleed Esports. So it looks like he and Bleed parted ways. That is unfortunata. So NightMare currently teamless. All right, I'll be right back. Nice is on Twisted Minds now. I mean, I guess so. He's in the clan. I'm gonna look it up. I mean, according to Team Liquid, Nice is not on Twisted Minds, so I don't know. Maybe he played for them. Maybe he played for them like in the one of the team leagues, the World Team League. Yeah, so I think what happened was Nice is actually on Little Fairy. Or he used to be on Little Fairy, and Little Fairy and Twisted Minds played together in the World Team League. So I think he is probably in the clan because of that. But he is not officially on Twisted Minds, the team. Twisted Minds, the team, the video game. We see NightMare's Nexus up a good bit sooner than Nice's. Nice, though, with an Oracle on the way, so NightMare scouting around, but gonna have to be ready to defend against the Oracle. Might need a shield battery in the main base. This looks like a pretty standard opening, though, from both players. So I don't think NightMare is going to be caught off guard by an Oracle. We'll see, though. I mentioned it earlier. Sometimes those Oracles can sneak in and get some kills. There are a couple of Stalkers here, though. It looks like NightMare is pretty well defended against the Oracle. Oracle not even going to be able to get one kill here. And oh, the sentry's going to do some damage to it on the way out. Decent pylon placement up here for NightMare. Not the best, because it doesn't have vision of this quadrant, but it has the important vision. And ooh, a couple of Stalkers getting caught out here. It's nice putting some pressure on, but NightMare bringing everything else forward. Still got a couple of Stalkers in the main base. And no shield battery in the main. Not that it would help against two Oracles necessarily, but sometimes it can be nice to have. Nonetheless. And we do have Blink on the way for Nice. Of course, a little bit later because of his Stargate opener. But I like this. Not trying to dive in and get too many kills. Just being annoying. He will grab an extra probe anyways. And he's just going to block the third bases here. And it looks like Nice wants to put some pressure on. NightMare's pylon is nearby. It doesn't look like either player has spotted the other little proxy pylon out here. But this is a gateway from Nice. It's a bit of a commitment. And it looks like he's planning on, I was going to say two-basing, but he's posturing like he's taking a third. So the probe gets blocked. On the other side here, NightMare sending a couple of adepts across the map. Going to see if he can sneak in and get some probes. This probe unfreezes and drops down the third base. Nice still has not put down a third. And it's starting to feel like these pylons here are to trick NightMare, and they might have tricked me as well. Because he is just going to go for it. How many Stalkers we got here? 13 Stalkers, so not only just one more than NightMare. NightMare does have a couple of sentries as well. I do believe a few of those Stalkers are in the main, so he's going to need those in the fight. Oh, and there's still the stasis trap. Here we go. The Adepts getting into the main base, though. Uh-oh, probes getting pulled against the NightMare, focusing on that. While Nice blinks into the main base and sets a stasis ward. He's going to knock down the pylon as well, stopping two of these warp gates from being useful at all. Another stasis trap. That one catches the Stalker that blinks forward, but now Nice is going to blink forward. Is this a wise move with the Oracles helping out in DPS? It feels like it's doing okay. There's a couple of shield batteries on the low ground, or one shield battery on the low ground, but Nice has so many more Stalkers here. He's starting to really win this fight, and he's killing some of the probes now as well, getting that counter damage done. There are still two Adepts over here for NightMare, getting a lot of worker damage, but can he defend this army back at home? The Oracles are still doing damage as the probes get pulled. Oh my god, this Oracle has 11 kills. 22 probes went down, and NightMare, he is fighting with the last few Stalkers, but I do not think it's going to be enough. Nice can continue to reinforce. He's got the proxy gateway. He's got too many Stalkers, and it looks like we're going to a game number 3. Oh, hold on. Did I speak too soon? There's an Immortal out. I mean, NightMare's got a third base, so his economy is still going to be quite a bit better. Is it going to be better enough, though? And I mean, the shield battery. Oh, the shield battery going to keep the Immortal alive. Great movement there from NightMare. Shield battery is out of juice, though. Second Immortal pops out. Oh, these Immortals are crucial, and two more Stalkers warp in as well. Nice is keeping the pressure on. I mean, he has to keep the pressure on. He's down 10 workers. Nice has been hasn't been building workers that he's been losing. One Immortal falls, the other one does not, though. It stays alive just barely. And NightMare's starting to push this away. His Stalkers have Blink as well. This is not a one-sided fight as another Immortal pops out, and these two Oracles are still thinking about coming back in. But they have a lot of damage to do. 15 workers here. Advantage for NightMare. He could, honestly, he could probably stop building workers at this point and still just be fine. He's going to come in with the Oracles. One goes down, and now he's going to try to move in here to the third with the Stalkers, but he just gets the shield battery and I think a probe before he dips out of there. And Nice, it looked like he was on the verge of winning. Maybe he still can. He's got a huge army supply, and he's got charge finishing up right now. I don't know if NightMare is going to be really ready for this. As I say that, though, the Observer spots this, so he moves out of the worst position here in the middle between these bases. He's going to let Nice dive in to the natural base as the probes get pulled to fight here, and NightMare trying to take the best fight he can. He can't afford to lose these probes. 13 probes go down, but he still has the lead. He still has that third base. The pylon falls again. Glaives is on the way here for NightMare. More probes getting pulled as he is going to fall. It looks like maybe below Nice. No, still 32 to 30 probes. The Stalker's forced to recall, but 2 of them go down on that attempt. And even though 20 workers just died, NightMare's position is still better. Now these Zealots getting in here is really, really nice for Nice. If they can escape, that is worthwhile. Stalkers coming back across the map. Nice does have a third on the way, but it is not done yet. And NightMare's economy is still better than Nice's. Even after all of this damage, even after 48 killed probes to just 17. Because Nice didn't rebuild any of those probes he lost, any of those 17 that the Adepts that snuck in killed, he's still just sitting on 30. Finally, he's building a couple more now to start saturating this third base as it's over halfway done. But NightMare immediately started rebuilding probes. He held on just barely, was able to squeeze an Immortal out. And now he's got a bunch of Adepts that are about to have glaives. He recognizes that Nice's economy is pretty trash. So he's going to assume there's a lot of Zealots, and there are. And Immortals and Adepts is going to be so good against this army from NightMare. Or from Nice. He's still out these Stalkers as well, trying to pick off a couple units. Now NightMare holds the army supply lead. And it doesn't feel like Nice really has a chance in this game anymore. I was calling it for him. I said we're going to a game 3. But then NightMare with like 4 Stalkers didn't tap out. Held on, got the Immortal out, and made the hold. So incredible. Like, honestly, clutch gameplay there from NightMare. It really felt like it was over. I think a lot of players would leave there, but NightMare knew he still had that chance, and now he's going to take the win, turning what looked like a big fat L into a big fat W.